Good morning, good Frejya's Day, I guess I should say. Welcome to Buckwheat Farms Magic Emporium and Ballroom. It's Friday, it's hot already. Not so much hot as the humidity. It's 93% humidity today. I don't know if the sweat stains are showing up on my shirt, but I've been digging grass up for my pigs this morning and clearing some gardens, and it's a sticky day out there today. You know, I've talked in other videos and other content about how change is the only constant, that change and monkey wrenches in our plans and diversions to our courses come up, and too often we see that as a point of defeat, not a point of moving on, but all it is a course correction, really. And we at Buckwheat Farms have undergone a little bit of a course correction here. We are, my grow partner and I, Christine, found that we were looking at the amount of produce that we have, and there's some limitations here. First of all, this is both of our first years in starting. We're having some issues with the soil productivity being what it should be, which will be higher in year 2. We're not seeing some of the produce come in like we expected, and that's to be expected. But instead of saying, hey, let's throw in the towel, let's end this thing, what we did was we said, let's take it to the next level. So we began to seek grow partners, other small farms around here that have produce, and a lot of those are already involved in markets and CSAs of their own, but we're looking at purchasing their excess produce so that we can provide a good quality basket that has a good variety and a good amount of food. We want to make sure that we give you more than your money's worth, and that's our desire. So we're right now, so we're pushing things back a little bit. We'll start our first box on August 6th instead of this weekend, or this weekend would have been the first box we were trying to get out. And so we'll put together a menu. You'll be able to go online, and these things we're working out. So we'll give you the details as we go. But you'll be able to go online, order the things that you want, and make your payment, and then come pick it up. And we'll have a pickup point. But we've been in contact with a couple of farms. We've got a source now for hemp residue, the hemp leavings, which will be a boon for our animals, and we personally at Buckwheat Farms will be able to maybe increase our livestock, because we'll have a good source of a regular source of high quality food. We're looking at a couple of places that have strawberries and blueberries, some extra tomatoes. We're looking at we're talking to some vendors who provide beans, and we're looking at shelled beans versus beans you shell yourself, that'll be put in the bags, and putting that together. We are setting our first box goal then for August 7th, this Saturday, August 7th. But this coming, let's see, we're talking to trying to find a place to set up, but we will be set up somewhere on the 24th and the 31st of July, to be determined, a market where we'll be selling fresh produce out of the market and promoting the CSA. Our goal is to have 6 to 9 grow partners who are providing, and are part of this, who are providing either some sort of produce, meat. We have found a source for rabbits as well now, so meat, nuts, grains, and also someone who may supply things like homemade soaps or homemade candles or perfumes or things like that, which can also be included in the CSA. We'll almost make it like a general store, but we're limiting it to, we would like to limit it to 42, about 42 households, 42 share partners. Again, looking at numbers, of intentional communities that equal 150, and that's kind of a number we'd like to keep it at, where we can maintain the closeness within the community and make this the make it work through the community exchange system. And these are all kind of, I know I'm throwing a lot of stuff out there, and these are all details and minutia. I don't want you to get bogged down in it. Just know that we are the reason we're doing this, our goal in this is, gosh, I don't know how to say this, because again, you guys know I am an optimistic person, but there's something coming. And every farmer, every grower that we've talked to over the past few days recognizes it. They see the writing on the wall. They see the writing on the wall, and that the prices are going up, and that the amount of food is going down, especially as we move through the summer. And I mean, the drought that's going on in the West. Everyone says, well, it's not affecting me now. But there's a ripple effect, a whiplash effect, if you want to call it, so that the effect now may seem small, but it's a building wave, and it'll eventually pop, and that pop is really what it's really going to hurt. Now, that's exacerbated by the microchip shortage, because every corporate farm uses tractors that are run by microchips. In fact, just talking to one of the growers yesterday, he said, I tell my guys, most big farmers sit in the room, and they just sit behind a computer. They have computerized tractors, they have computerized plows, they have computerized harvesters. Everything is pretty much run from behind a desk, and that going away is not necessarily bad, because corporate farming is the worst on the environment. It is an environmental catastrophe. I mean, everyone talks about greenhouse gases from the auto industry, from automobiles and everything, but the damage done by corporate farming, I think, is at least equal to the damage done by automobiles to our environment. So there's another reason, but we see it coming, and the reason I say this is, even if you're not in the Middle Georgia area, wherever you are, find a grower. Better yet, start growing your own food, and that is ultimately our goal here at Buckwheat Farms, and ultimately the goal of Middle Georgia Agora is to actually teach people how to produce their own food. Unlike the church that wants to keep you coming around paying your tithes forever and ever, we envision that our grow partners will eventually become our share partners will eventually become grow partners of their own, and begin to provide themselves, so that we can move to a totally agrarian, totally autonomous, totally self-sustained community, where we're producing all of our goods and everything that we need, or most of everything that we need, within that community. And so, if you don't want to grow yourself, or for whatever reasons, and it's really simple, we'll be even putting out, Christine and I are going to do a Udemy course on sustainable permaculture, and on some of the very basics, how you can get started with the very least amount. I mean, as we were talking about yesterday, you can put a pot in your window and put a plant, and put some dirt and a plant in it, and that's a step. So we're gonna, that's where the first line of defense, I guess I would say, against what's coming. The second is to find a CSA, join a CSA. The paradigm of get in a box, go to a box, buy food in a box is ending, and it's ending because of so many factors. But and again, it's not a bad thing; it's a good thing. But like I said, find someone, find a CSA, find a farmer's market, find a grower, find some private, non-corporate source of food. And then start looking at the sustainable part of sustainable permaculture. Sustainable permaculture is not all about gardening. It's about sustainable living. It's about not being wasteful. It's about recycling or repurposing or reusing. It's about making decisions not to pursue avenues to obtain goods that cause havoc or damage to the environment, or cause damage to other people. It's it's kind of like not buying, what is it, the blood diamonds. And it takes a mindset. It takes a change in the way that you're thinking, and that change is coming. Whether you accept it now and embrace it and move into it, or it hits you like a slap in the face. And I guess that's my message for today. Be prepared. Keep an eye out on what we're doing here. We'll have some more postings as far as where we will be on the 24th and the 31st. We'll have a good amount of produce. I look for a bunch of tomatoes, squash. We should have some strawberries, blueberries. We'll have watermelons, spaghetti squash. We should have plenty of beans. We look for a really, really nice turnout there. So stay posted. Namaste.